Hi, I'm Emily Burns, Learnivore's founder, and today I'm going to show you how to make a pretty good cup of cappuccino. The reason, though, that I'm going to be doing this is part of a series of videos that we're going to begin doing. Many of these, over time, will begin to feature some of the many, 15,000 Learnivore instructors that we have. But we wanted to start simply by trying this ourselves, and so that's what we're going to be doing. There will be a variety of series that are going to be done by some of the many pretty awesome interns that we have here at Learnivore, including things like learning how to play chess, teaching you how to learn simple coding. What are some of the other pretty cool things that people are doing? Wire sculpting, which Annika did this afternoon already. And then we're also going to be doing these Wednesdays Wild posts, which are all about teaching things that you can't really learn on Learnivore. Things like how to make a pretty good cappuccino. So on Wednesdays, tune in for posts and videos from all of the Learnivore interns as well as me. And at other times, follow Learnivore and you'll be able to tune in for many other types of instruction, whether it be from Learnivore interns or from some of our fantastic instructors. If you're an instructor on Learnivore and you'd like to do your own live video, just contact me directly and we will be happy to set that up. And if you're not an instructor on Learnivore, go ahead and apply and then reach out directly and I'd be happy to have you host your own video. All right, so with that, let's start the cappuccino and get this a little bit further away from my face, which is really uncomfortable. All right, okay, so cappuccino. There's a cappuccino machine. All right, this is the first try at this. We're not expecting much. Okay, so here's our cup of coffee, or our cup of milk. This is roughly 4 ounces of milk. You can trust me, I've measured it in the past. We're using whole milk right now. And really what I'm going to focus on with this is actually, rather than focusing on the coffee or the machine or anything like that, we're going to focus on the milk. Because the milk and steaming the milk is one of the most important parts of making a pretty good cup of cappuccino. The beans and things like that are the things that probably take you up to an excellent cappuccino. But right now we're actually just focused on pretty good. So the reason that the milk is so important is what makes a cappuccino taste really good actually is breaking down the lactose, which is the sugar in milk, as you guys all probably know. So lactose is made up of 2 simple sugars, galactose and glucose. And when you get the milk to about 95 degrees, you break those two down you break down the lactose into those 2 smaller, sweeter sugars. And that's what's really important about that, is getting the milk hot enough where you break down the sugars, but not getting it too hot, which causes the sugars to completely dissolve and have no taste. So I'm just going to focus on showing you how to steam your milk effectively so that you can have a pretty good cup of cappuccino. And I should say it took me about 10 years, maybe 15 years, probably 15 years, before I finally learned to do this, so I hope you don't have to wait as long. All right, so my cappuccino maker requires that you bleed off the steam first. And there are lots of ways that you can steam milk, but this is one of them. So, very important to keep the steam wand right at the top of the bubbles, because if you take it down below the bubbles, you will no longer aerate it. So you continue to aerate it, and really your goal actually is to continue to aerate it until you get to about 95 degrees, which is why some people have thermometers, but you can also just simply do this by sight and by time. So that's about as long as it will take to properly foam it. If you're not actually getting bubbles, after that amount of time you kind of have to stop foaming anyway, or else you're just going to end up with a bitter cappuccino. So let me quickly taste this and see, but perfect. So pretty warm, still nice foam, and then the rest is simply, in my case, just the machine. So, in my opinion, that volume of milk requires about 2 shots of cappuccino, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I think you end up with, again, a pretty good cup of cappuccino. And again, just to reiterate, the most important thing is not to steam the milk for too long. That is really the key thing, and to put the steaming wand right at the top of the milk while you're steaming it, and then slowly move the milk down. That's how you get to a pretty good cup of cappuccino, in my opinion. All right, so following up on this, I will also be posting the instructions for this on Learnivore's blog, so you can check that out without having to watch the video. If you're interested in learning other things, be sure and go to Learnivore, other things that you can't learn, that we won't be teaching on Wednesdays while. So things like piano, yoga, anything that you want a personal private instructor for, head over to Learnivore. If you are interested in joining next week I will be doing something that won't require a handheld video. I'll be doing interior design with PowerPoint, so feel free to log in then and follow us then. And on Tuesdays I will be doing meal preparation. This first Tuesday we'll be focusing on lamb and lentils, and I'll post the recipe for that a little bit before, so that if you're interested you can follow along. And lastly, go ahead and like the Learnivore Facebook page. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. If I can find out how to end it.